How often do people fake wealth?
All the time. What do you mean?
Like, what are the ways that you can spot real versus fake wealth? Can you immediately tell if someone's actually wealthy?
Yeah, absolutely.
But are there tells when someone walks in, talks to you, that you could tell this guy's full of shit?
Yeah.
And what are those tells?
I don't even listen to the words, man. I listen to the energy. It's as soon as I hear speech that's like, you know what I'm saying? Somebody come in, oh yeah, man. Oh, I like this and this is this. And I'm just like, just shut the up, bro. Get the out of here. You know what I'm saying? I walked into your home, man. And I comment your art. You wait till you see the hallway. It's an informational exchange. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The information resonates. All right, it resonates. The vibrations go into the eardrum and into the brain, and it's like, oh, okay, this makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And this is what you're doing. This is the book I read. This is the book, your Goosebumps collection or whatever. This is your favorite. There's a back and forth exchange that's building a relationship. That's building positivity. If I came in there and I said, yeah, I have a better one, what would you think, bro?
I'd want to see a photo of it.
Yeah, or you would want to see a photo on, or you would this and that. But still, even if I did have a better one, why wouldn't I say something positive? You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Why play some stupid game, So this is kind of my experience of it. As people come up to me all the time. I got a jewelry store. You know what I'm saying? There's no gate to get through. They walk inside and they say, I have this. And I might be wrong.
Yeah.
I might be judging people incorrectly, but they might say, I have this idea or this, or I want that, or I want this. And I'm just listening to them like, yeah, go speak to over here. But if it resonates and someone is saying something that inside my mind isn't annoying me, then I'm starting paying attention. And, some people lift you up and inspire you, and some people put you down. And I'm sensitive to the feeling. I'm not even focusing on the words. I'm sensitive to the feeling. That's what it is to me.
What about clothing and flexing and watches and stuff like that? Because I've heard that if you eclipse like a real crazy level of wealth, you start wearing like kind of dragged old clothing, like like Adam Sandler and a lot of like Shia LaBeouf.
You stop having to prove anything.
Well, you don't have to prove anything when you've been in a million movies.
Okay, sure. Well, what about other people? Do you notice like a correlation at all with like the actual physical appearance of like very wealthy people versus not?
Not often. This one guy that I know, he's got a collection of Ferraris, and but he likes to dress with the nice shit, and he's wearing Richard Meals, and he's doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? And he was the CEO of a Sharpie, the marker, or brought that to market. Made serious money. You're talking about $500 million altogether, or something like that. The guy shows money, but he wants to be fit, wants to look good. Take a look at Jeff Bezos. He was doing Amazon. Let's get that picture of him in his purple eggplant Halloween costume. But as soon as he made that money, he said, what the fuck am I going to do at Amazon all day long? And, tinkering with this shopping cart button. Got himself a yacht, got jacked, got himself a side chick, and whatever.
What about Elon, though? Because he still has the tiny home. He doesn't have any fancy cars. What do you think about the difference of someone maybe like?
Yeah, sure. I mean, a star is a star. The man is, the man is a star. So it doesn't really matter. If the women looked at him like he was a loser, he would put something on, bro. But the knows he's got all the money in the world, and she's googly-eyed smiling. Okay, that's how women are. All right? So that is the name of the game, and if you get the impression across, it's way more helpful. Sure, you could be humble, like John the Baptist, eating locusts and dry honey, in the desert. But that's a different dimension.
So it's interesting. When I was working as a real estate agent, I'd host open houses every single Sunday at Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you the amount of fake people who came in every single Sunday. And you could point them out because they ended up getting really dressed up to go and see an open house.
Yeah.
And they always had a story.
Yes.
Like you mentioned. They would always start talking about themselves. Oh, I sold this business and now I'm looking for this. And,
right.
My price range is $7 million. And
you nailed it.
But they start explaining too much.
Right.
And the real people walked in, I noticed, really understated.
Yeah.
Would never want to talk to you.
Right.
When you ask their information, they'd say, I'll sign in.
Yeah.
And that's it. They really just didn't want to be bothered.
Correct.
But they'd more walk in and out with a bit of confidence to them. And I also noticed that sometimes the poorest dressed people were the richest.
Right.
The dude who's walking in with flip-flops, kind of a dirty white t-shirt and sweatpants, he's the one with like $200 million.
Correct. It's in some cases, but you know, he's flashing money in other places. You know, he's going over there. Everybody got a plan. That person that was muttering nonsense when they walked through there, they thought they're going to wake up and they're going to come up and they're going to tell a story about how they're this and how they're that. And you see that, you know, and it doesn't resonate. You're open house, you get to the point, it is what it is. You don't know me, I don't know you. I might have $1 million or $1 trillion or what have you. I don't know. You know, but this is the house, you're buying it or you're not. It makes sense. The shit that makes sense. The shit that doesn't. And people but you know, professional scam artists, after some people like, oh, I'm embarrassed, I got caught being a fraud, and they leave. And some people like, oh, I know why I got caught, let me adjust my strategy. I'm going to come in there on some shit. I know that he's thinking that in his head, that I'll come in there with the flip-flops and the shit, and I'll even have my friend come up to you and say, you dropped this and it's some expensive whatever. A scam. They'll fool you. There's lots of crazy scams out there, man. There's lots of people that if they invest their energy into fraud, they will go past these filters that you're noting.
Yeah. It's interesting, too. People would even tie up properties in escrow, I've noticed. They would claim they sent a wire transfer, but then one of the digits was like mixed by mistake.
Right.
And it's like, oh, well, I sent this deposit for the down payment on the house. We already have a signed deal. Yeah. Now I got to wait to get that back. And then a week goes by. I'm still waiting to get it back. They send it again. Something went wrong.
And what's the advantage of doing all this bullshit?
I've never figured it out.
Right.
I think it's the feeling of importance,
right.
Or they think maybe I'm going to hustle this deal over here and like get the money for it, or maybe I could have a friend come.
I don't know. Make the seller more distressed,
but it's happened multiple times.
There's a reason,
and I don't know. Different people. There's never been a scam. It's mostly the people I think wanting attention.
Right. They want attention. Yeah. I mean, in Beverly Hills and LA, they want to be a part of that life and a part of that top, but they're not.
What about different levels of wealth and how they purchase items from you? For example, if you have someone maybe worth like 200 million, are they buying crazy iced out watches versus someone that's maybe worth like 5 million? Are they buying different sorts of jewelry?
Yeah.
Is there like a difference in terms of jewelry preferences that you notice?
Yeah, I mean, listen, of course there's a difference in preferences, but for you, you know, you're distinctly asking a person with a couple of million what their taste is versus a person with vast amounts of money.
Yeah, like, for example, vast amounts of money. Maybe they're doing something because they're actually passionate rather than, like, getting a crazy iced out.
Yeah, there's not much of a passion. You know what I'm saying? You got more money. You want to show it off. You want, you know, you want to be at the casino and you want to do this and you want to do that. It's mostly for women, okay, and signaling wealth or whatever. And it's also for a good look or whatever it might be. But, you know, that depends on the individual. But they're looking for the status. So whether they have the 1 million or 2, if it's their first watch, they might get an iced out this or a big bezel that. But if they've been buying for a long time, they're gonna get that rare piece that says, "I know what the I'm doing." The Patek Philippe, whatever, with the moon phase.
How often do people come to you and not able to afford the jewelry, or they're on a payment plan and they just charge you to a credit card and you know they can't afford this thing?
Yeah, the average person, it happens enough. It's not that they can't afford it. You know, they're buying something for $1,500 or $2,500. So how can they not afford it? They have a steady job and can make a payment. Relatively, they can afford it. And what they're buying, they're buying. If they're buying the right piece of jewelry, they're doing the right thing. You know, if you bought a piece of jewelry that was heavy in gold in the year 2004 when I started, even if you paid overprice, you know, the gold price was $350 an ounce and now it's $3,500 more or less. So you 10x'd your money. And if you overpay double, you 5x'd it or whatever. Yeah. So you can't lose on that. So some people are buying and getting played, man. And some people are not. Some people are over, you know, what the question and the nature of the question. Of course, some people are overcommitting themselves on they can't do. Some people are on drugs they can't quit. You know, some people are buying to look like this. Some people are buying to look like that. And there is some millionaires that scrounge every dollar, or millionaires or whatever, and look like bums. But I never really noticed them. And those are people with psychotic issues, really. But still, they spend their money somewhere.
I saw this one video a long time ago of Michael Jackson walking through an antique shop, I think it was.
I saw that video.
And he's like,
I'll
take
it.
this. And then you ask, yeah, but I just remember watching this video and he just seemed to not care whatsoever about the price. Do you have buyers like that? What is your favorite type of buyer?
Oh, that's the favorite type of buyer right there.
And people do that. They walk into the shop and they're just like, oh yeah, 10 grand, whatever.
I had a guy that came in, okay? This guy, his father was selling military equipment to Iraq with government contracts from the U.S. So he was manufacturing in Ukraine before long ago, and that's his father. And he was shipping it over there and just milking money, whatever. And his father put him on a big allowance, okay, because something in the family. Not going to get into it. Put him on a big allowance. Guy came in, bought 3 Rolexes for me, gifted me one, and the other one to one other member of my staff, and the other member of my staff. And then he started giving out gold bars to the other members of my staff. So this is a customer that came in, bought 3 watches from me, and gifted them to me. Okay, that's my favorite customer, bro.
Where is he now?
He's chilling. He's chilling somewhere. He hit me up the other day. I mean, his allowance went down or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He's more normal, more focused. But he was burning through. He was burning through $250,000, $500,000 a month, just having a good time. Shorties in every state or in every city. You know, buying jewelry for them, going over there, seeing them, and just burning through money and just going full tilt.
Do you think he was happier back then or happier now?
I don't know. I mean, it wasn't particularly happiness. It was just, you know, like the Emperor Nero would be doing or something like that. He was just pushing it to the limit.
How often do people...
I don't know how happy that makes you, man.
Walk into the shop and not even ask the price of things, and they're just like, yeah, I like that a lot, I'll buy that.
Sometimes, you know, but I didn't build my business. I didn't build my business around luxury clients. I always, you know, again, and I'm an immigrant from Azerbaijan, you know, I didn't have to grow up around money. I didn't even know people had money. So I had a mentality of value. I had a mentality of, you know, I want to sell this. And that was not good to build a jewelry business around. Now I'm going to build a mentality, a jewelry brand around other things. And then I'm going to be able to charge and push and attract the type of client. In order to do that, I need inventory. I need to be able to capitalize, right? You know, I got like $7 million, $8 million worth of inventory. I need to get to 20 million, 25 million, deploy that properly. And then I'll have the inventory to attract the client that's going to just buy. Doesn't happen all the time. I have normal clients that buy great jewelry that has a good value with a fair markup, because that's what I adjusted my business to. The sucking for money is not my style. I'm not going to be like, he's got the money, he's got the watch, he's got this, he's got that. Built a jewelry business, and you know what it is out there. The more I act the way I'm acting now, the better that business goes. So that's why it encourages this type of behavior. But I don't like to worship money, man. I don't like it. And even though I chose this business as a young person, the snobs that come in there, or the snobbery, like I never attract that type of customer that they want to be like, I got this, or, you know, the guy that chrome hearts, he's got, you know, yeah, sure, there's some kid comes in that's spending his parents' money from Beijing, you know what I'm saying? And he's wearing the latest Chrome Hearts shirt and the latest Chrome Hearts this, and he wants to get the thing, to this and that. He's just trying to look for some status, and he's playing that game. The game of I'm rich and I'm get the out of here is my take. Go deal with my sales guy and let him blow smoke up your. That's the answer.
Is there anyone you won't sell to?
No, I'll sell to anybody who's, you know, respectful and who is thoughtful.